Hey everyone, this is Norbert, and today I wanted to bring you an update for my Elfnote combo guide. Now, the last combo guide has been about 2 weeks from now, and since then I think I made a lot of progress with the deck, and I wanted to show you what cool things you can do with Elfnotes if you know more interactions, more lines, etc. All these combos will be in a spreadsheet that I've linked in the description. It is free, so go ahead and check it out. And once we get closer to blazing the minion, I will also start working on combos for that version of the deck. You will see there's a tab in the spreadsheet that says blazing the minion, but there's nothing in there yet. But keep an eye out for that. Of course, I will, once we get close to that, make videos on those combos too. So if you like the combos more in video form, you will definitely get your share of combos then. If you do, then make sure to leave a sub so you don't miss that video. But now let's hop into the first combo. Alright, so the first combo is going to be Medius the Pure. This also works with Desirae. The difference is Desirae doesn't take a normal summon, but it takes a card from your hand. On the other hand, if you get impermed on Medius here, you don't do anything. If you get impermed on Medius after Desirae, you can turn it into a Light Fiend and still make Caesar. So we're going to start with the Medius. Make sure to not put it in the middle monster zone. Because that telegraphs to your opponent that you don't have an Elfnote in hand, right? So Medius effect to summon your Elfnote Power Patron. This one you can put in the middle monster zone if you want, just to make your opponent guess if you want to level modulate or not. We are not going to level modulate here because we want to go into our Medius, and that'll trigger the Elfnote Power Patron, grabbing us the Tinia. This is the one that we want to grab because we're going to summon it here, use the effect, and that'll park an Elfnote Welcome Home here for further use. But before we do anything, we can go link the Armades off into Requiem and use our turn player priority to activate the Requiem effect. We do that because the Requiem is the 5th summon. So if you don't use your priority, they can nib, and even if you chain your Requiem, you just summon a monster and that gets nibbed anyway. Whereas here, if they chain a nib to the Requiem, you get a nib token instead of the Tinia, you summon the Lacrima, and that's literally the same board. Or they wait, you go Lacrima, Lacrima send Engraver, and they can nib here, which just takes 2 bodies and makes it 1, which you can live with. So you're going to link these two off into a sequence, and you're going to use the sequence and shuffle back your Lacrima and your Armades. It is important that you use these two because we need these two for the combo. So Armades goes back to the extra deck, Lacrima goes under your deck, and you're going to summon the Lacrima, which on summon gets back the Engraver to hand, and then you can use the Requiem here to equip to the Lacrima, and then we can use this to make a contact fusion into Necroquip, triggering our Lacrima, shuffling the Requiem back if you want to burn your opponent for 1200. So here we have the Necroquip, so let's use the Engraver and grab our Tract, and I'll trigger the Necroquip to draw us a card. It is a Nibiru because we already have 3 more hand traps, so why not draw a Nibiru? And until here, if your opponent nibs you, you still have the Engraver engrave. You have the Tract in hand, you have the Elfnote part of your combo still ready to go. But what you're going to do is use the Engraver, shuffle back the Lacrima, and this is the last spot to nib you. So if they nib you here, you don't get to Caesar, but it's fine. You just make a Link Spider, and you have another extender here, and you just do Elfnote stuff. If they don't have the nib, you make your Caesar here, and now we have a Caesar on board, we have the Elfnote spell on the field, and we have 6 cards in hand. So we are going to use the Welcome Home and make use of our sequence that's just lying around here to summon Elfnote Lucina, and that'll grab you Fortuna, which you can then summon in the middle monster zone, and then that adds you the Rhapsody of Madness. Now, we have a spare Tract, so why not just use it? Grab a Lurry, discard it, it specials itself, and then you can use the Rhapsody of Madness, send the Lurry away to summon back your Elfnote Power Patron. Now you can go and do a Synchro Summon here, and you're going to Synchro Summon into Strelitzia. And here you can use the Strelitzia to summon back one of your Elfnotes in the graveyard. Now you have a choice here. You can just go for Tinia to make the hand trip. You can go for Fortuna for a spell trap bounce, or you can go for the Elfnote Power Patron. Let's go for the Power Patron here because that'll open up 2 options. You can just make a Dawn Dragster here, which I prefer to do because now you have a Caesar that cannot be hit by Fallen and the Virtuous, and you have the Strelitzia for any of your Elfnote names. and the trap for the other one. So that's generally what I like to go for, but you can also leave the Elfnote on the field, and instead, with the Strelitzia and the Power Patron, make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. If you're up against a monster heavy deck, Yummy for example, you can do that, but generally I don't like doing that. Or what you can also do is you can summon your Strelitzia here, bring the Elfnote Power Patron back here in the middle monster zone, so you can make it a level 4, and then you can use these for a Leviathan, which is basically Wither Anchor, but generally I do like the variant where we end on Dawn Dragster, because it just covers up whatever the Caesar doesn't cover up. So now from one Medius, we are Caesar and Strelitzia for a revive and a level modulation, which is important. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw I tweeted, if you play against the new Dark Magician stuff, they summon the Abelstar, you can just activate the Strelitzia to revive, and that'll reduce the level of your opponent's Abelstar to 4, so they cannot make the Dark Magician of Destruction. So that's nice. And yeah, we have the Strelitzia for any of the revives you need. That also has an effect: bounce, hand rip, spell trap bounce. You have a spell trap negate, you have a negate for anything, and you have 5 cards in hand. So if there are any hand traps in there, which in this case we have 4, we have a lot of things to do to your opponent. So that's the Medius line. Let's hop into the next combo. So the next combo is also a 1-card combo. This time it is Lucina. This is very similar to the Medius combo that we just did, just with the difference that we have to start Lucina, so we cannot get the +1 off Lucina later in this combo. You can actually run the same combo as Medius with the Lucina, making Necroquip, drawing a card. You just have to give up a card from your hand because you have 1 less plus. But there's a different line that I want to show you. If you want to see the Necroquip line, it is in the spreadsheet, but I wanted to show a different line because I think there's a very cool interaction here. So you go summon Lucina, and that grabs you the Power Patron. You know that part. Normal summon Power Patron, do the level modulation to go level 10, and we go into our fabled Leviathan, and our Power Patron will grab you your Tinia. Once again, you're going to summon the Tinia, use the effect for the Welcome Home, and then you're going to go into Requiem and use your turn player priority to special summon your Lacrima, which will then send the Engraver. Here you're going to do a link summon into a sequence. This is still the same combo, right? Sequence effect, and this time you're going to actually shuffle back the Requiem and the Lacrima because you want to keep the Fabled Engrave. So these two go back, and you're going to get yourself a Lacrima. Lacrima effect, target the Engraver. Here it doesn't really matter if you summon or add it to hand, but I want to add it to hand just to get the Lurry out the deck. So we're going to go Tract, use Tract, and go Lurry, special it. You see here, right? You could have just summoned the Engraver with the Lacrima and then link it off and then use the Engraver to go it back. But we want to have an Agnum Day on the board and then use the Engraver and shuffle back the sequence, putting it on the field, and then we can overlay for our Caesar. Now, what we want to do is we go Welcome Home. We have to use a card from our hand, so let's take this Charmy, and we special summon our Fortuna. Again, we cannot go Lucina anymore because we already used her, but the Fortuna will get us the Rhapsody of Madness. And now, here's a cool thing you can do. You can go Chainlink 1 Agnum Day, target your Leviathan, and then you go Chainlink to Rhapsody of Madness, sending the Agnum Day to revive. So what will happen here is you summon back your Power Patron, and the Agnum Day will revive the Leviathan, because Agnum Day says revive the monster, and if you do, equip it. So it will try to resolve as far as possible. So it will revive, it cannot equip, but that doesn't matter, we don't need the equip. And now we just got a free Leviathan off our send, or a free send, no, depending on how you look at it. But we have the Leviathan on the field, and it's actually a powerful card because you tribute itself and take control, non-targeting of monsters your opponent has and negate them. So, for example, if they summon Kapsiyami, Kapsiyami is a very good starter because it puts a body on the field plus gets you an extender. But if they summon it and you use the Leviathan, You tribute it, take the Cupsea, they don't get the Surge, and they lose their body. Same with Diabellstar, right? They discard a card, summon Diabellstar. You take the Diabellstar away, so they can't go Dark Magician, but you also prevent the Diabellstar from setting a card. So very powerful interruption. If you want to do this line, that's what I wanted to show. And you still have 2 monsters on the field, so let's convert these 2 into our Strelitzia, which can then revive one of your monsters, Lucina or Tinia. Let's just go Tinia for the hand rip. And now what we have is 3 cards in hand. We have the Rhapsody negate, we have the Leviathan to take, we have a Caesar, we have follow-up because of the Engraver, we have Strelitzia revive and level modulation, we have Tinia hand rip, and whatever Strelitzia summons can also bounce something. So very powerful combo and very flexible. For example, you can also go into a Desirae line if you want to. That will relinquish the Caesar in this case, but you have options here. But let's show you how you can make Desirae and Caesar. So for the last 2 combos, I wanted to show you a combination of Engraver and Lucina and what routes you can go with them. The first line will be a Caesar Desirae line, just for the full Fiendsmith experience. So what you want to do here is you're going to summon Lucina, use the effect to grab your Power Patron. This is also the best line into Droll, because if you start with Engraver and you get tracked and you get rolled, you do nothing. Whereas if you get drolled here, you can still normal summon the Power Patron, synchro into the Leviathan, and then you just make Fiendsmith combo. But here, let's just play without droll. You normal summon the Power Patron, you modulate the level, and you go into your Leviathan, and that'll trigger your Power Patron to grab you your Tinia. Here you don't summon the Tinia, just as the last combos, because we already have extension in hand. What we want to do is, we just go into Fiendsmith stuff. So, go into Requiem to summon Lacrima, send the Engraver, and here we're gonna go equip the Requiem. We already have the Engraver. Make a Necroquip, and we just get our draw here. So you go Engraver for the tract, and then the Necroquip will draw you a card. And here what you want to do is tract for Lurie, summon the Lurie, and then you're gonna go and link summon into sequence, and here sequence will then go and shuffle the Engraver, the Lurie, and the Requiem. It's important that it's these 3, because you definitely want to keep Lacrima. You need an Engraver on grave, and you can shuffle back the Leviathan, but it gives you some flexibility in the grave, so I rather have it here. So 3 monsters, that'll make you a Desirae. So now what you can do is you can link these off for your Agnum Day, and Agnum Day can then go and revive the Desirae. Then what you want to do is Engraver, shuffle back the sequence to summon it back. And now we already use our Necroquip. How are you making Caesar? Well, you still have the tract Engrave. So you're going to tract, fuse your 2 Light Fiends here, and go into Lacrima, which will then revive your Engraver. And here you can make your Caesar. So 3rd card in hand, Caesar on board, and we have the good old Lacrima Agnum Day set up. If you haven't played Fiendsmith yet, Lacrima in the opponent's turn can shuffle itself back to revive a Fiendsmith link, and Agnum Day as a quick effect revives a Light Fiend. So can be both of these, right? So you have options actually, but Desirae is obviously the more powerful one, but in specific scenarios like against the Yami, the Leviathan is also very good. But here you're gonna then go and special the Tinia, and Tinia is going to set you your spell, which you then send the Tinia with for your Fortuna, and Fortuna is going to grab you the trap. Now you can use the trap, send whatever to revive your tuner, and then you can go and synchro into your Strelitzia, which can then revive a Elfnote of your choice. So what we end on is we have the Caesar, we have the Strelitzia for revive, we have the Tinia for the hand rip, we have the Rhapsody of Madness, and we have our Lacrima to revive our Agnum Day at any point for good layering into one of these boss monsters, very powerful. Plus, don't forget the ruling with Agnum Day. So whenever you bring Agnum Day back, you can use your Rhapsody of Madness to send the Agnum Day for free, if you tend to go for the Leviathan, of course, because if you do this interaction with the Desirae, you'll have a Desirae with no equip. But if you actually go for the Desirae, what you can do instead is you revive the Desirae, and whenever you have used your Desirae, you can then go Rhapsody of Madness to send the Desirae for your revive and negate, and that'll also trigger the Desirae in the grave to send one of your opponent's cards. So lots of layered interaction with this 2-card combo. So now let's show you the last 2-card combo. So for the last line of today, it is still the same 2 cards, but this line is a bit different, and I wanted to show it to you because there's some interactions that I think are very good to know. So special summon Lucina, grab our Power Patron. We know this part, Power Patron, modulate the level, go into Fabled, and then trigger the Power Patron to get our other Elfnote, and then make Fiendsmith stuff. So Requiem into Lacrima, Lacrima send, then Requiem equip, make Necroquip so that we can get the draw of our Engraver search on the tract, and then this is our hand here. And now we can go tract for the Lurry, discard it, special it, and we link here for sequence. Sequence effect, this time we are making our Lacrima again, so we shuffle Requiem, and this time I want you to actually shuffle the Engraver, because what you want to leave in the grave is Lurry, Lacrima, Engraver, of course, and the Leviathan. These are all important for the combo. You'll see in a second why. So these two, go back, and you summon your Lacrima. Lacrima then can summon back whatever. You can threaten a Caesar if you summon this one, but what you want to do actually is you link these two for Agnum Day, and then use the Engraver, shuffle back the sequence to bring it back. And this is truly the last spot where they can nib you. And what's cool here is because of how we set up our grave, is if they nib you here, you still have the Leviathan, which in the grave actually has the effect to shuffle itself back and add your Lurry to hand. So if they nib you before you actually go into Agnum Day, that's what you want to do, because then you have a Lurry in hand for a free send for your Elfnote stuff. If you get to Agnum Day already, you already have the Lacrima engrave, and the Lacrima can revive the Agnum Day for the Leviathan steal. So you already got something out of your Fiendsmith line while still having 5 cards in your hand. You will get a nib token to send with your Elfnote cards, so you are really up ahead at this point. And we're going to make the Caesar though, and then we're going to go Tinia effect for Welcome Home. Welcome Home, send Tinia, special Fortuna. Fortuna, grab the trap. And now you do your little play where you go Agnum Day, target Leviathan, and then chain Rhapsody of Madness, send the Leviathan away. The Agnum Day away for your Power Patron. The Agnum Day will still resolve, get us this. And we gonna Synchro Summon here for your Strelitzia, which then revives your Elfnote of choice. And that is your board now. So pretty similar to the board we had before, but what's really important is Leviathan is not hard once per turn. So what you can do here is you can steal your opponent's monster, negate it, and then at some point during your opponent's turn, go Lacrima. Lacrima brings back the Agnum Day. Agnum Day, target Leviathan, use Rhapsodia again to send it, right? Bring back one of your Elfnotes. Still get the Leviathan, and then use it again to steal one of your opponent's monsters. If you have the board space for it, of course. If you want, you can put something in the extra monster zone here when you do your combo to have more space. But generally, you can double steal with Leviathan, and you can also use Leviathan to grab back your Lurry. Also on the opponent's on the following turn, right? If you see your grave setup for the next turn, you can just grab back the Lurry next turn and play from there. And you basically didn't invest any of your hand. Actually, we started with 5 cards and now we have 4, even though we have invested 2. So very, very strong combo. And this board is super tough to break. I don't see what your opponent could do here. But that is it for the combos. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, the spreadsheet is in the description. If there's a combo I didn't have in the spreadsheet, or some combo I did that you think you can do better, I also have a link for my Discord and you can join it and just send me the replay. But with that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.